So here's a very interesting case about how human activities affect evolution of certain organisms, in this case, one specific beetle. So this is the northern corn rootworm beetle. I'm just going to call it the corn beetle because that's easier, but these are, as you might guess from the name, a species of beetle that lives specifically mainly on corn, specifically on agricultural corn, so like cornfields, all that. So these corn beetles have an interesting developmental cycle where basically after the eggs are laid and hatched and whatever, the larvae go into a dormant stage where they wait for basically like 2 years, and then they emerge from their dormant state to finish developing, mate, lay eggs, etc., circle of life. But what's interesting is this 2-year cycle is a relatively new development, and that is due to human activity. So in the main agricultural industry, corn crops go through basically a 2-year cycle. So for 1 year, they grow the corn and they harvest it and whatever, and then the next year, they don't grow corn, but they grow soybeans in the same field. This is because corn do not have the symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria that soybeans do. So in order to replenish the nitrogen in the soil, farmers that grow corn also have to grow a crop of soybeans in order to replenish all of the nitrogen that has been lost due to the corn taking up the nitrogen. But obviously these beetles, since they're corn beetles, they can't grow and they can't use the soybean crops. So what they developed is the larvae that go dormant during the soybean phase and then come reanimate, I guess, and finish up the rest of their life cycle after a full year when they can do it on the corn. So by developing the 2-year basically agricultural cycle, humans have basically forced these beetles to evolve a 2-year developmental cycle, so the larvae have sufficient food in order to finish their life cycle. So it's just a very interesting example about how human activity affects the evolution of other organisms.